time has come, a very important part of our show, the end. No. One of the last things we're going to do tonight is find out about the trivia answers. And so our panel here have done the same, not specifically themed trivia that you have. We're going to find out how they did. How did y'all feel about the trivia?
Awful.
We did struggle, but you know, we had a lot of team spirit. Our team name, and you should know this too, is the Whoville Community College Players. Thank you. And yeah, I just feel bad I've had my back to you the whole time, but.
I love your space buns.
Oh, thank you so much.
What's your name?
Jared.
Give it up for Jared. It is good taste in the back of hairstyles. All right, we're going to find out how our team did as well as how all you did. So let's go to question number 1. This scientist is showing for the first time that sloths do what?
We put hang, but colloquially hang. Like.
We also thought really hard about, you know, the video that came out that was like 2 guys sitting in a hot tub 5 feet apart because they're not gay.
We got an echo from the audience on that.
Yeah. So this sloth is straight baiting.
And
That is absolutely correct. No. No, the answer is this is the first time we ever had video evidence of a sloth farting. And
How? Where?
and don't worry, I will show you a video in a minute. But first, I want to tell you, the question, do sloths fart, has plagued scientists for decades. So there have been many articles and at least one book written about this topic, and they have all confidently found that sloths do not fart. Zoologist, oh, look at me, am I British? Zoologist Lucy Cook said as much in a TED Talk, sloths are the only, why is that sloths is so hard to say? I'm just realizing that right now. Sloths. Sloths are the only, sloths? Okay, everybody relax, okay. Zoologist Lucy Cook, this is going really well. Zoologist Lucy Cook said as much in a TED Talk, sloths are the only mammal that we know of that don't do flatulence. She further explained, it's actually reabsorbed into their bloodstream and expelled orally as a sort of mouth fart. And then she did this. That was the party line, or farty line, if you will.
I won't.
You won't, yeah, and that's fair. Until Cook met up with wildlife veterinarian Andres Sáenz Broitigam, who works at an animal sanctuary, who insisted that sloths can and do fart and offered to prove it. And according to Cook, this is the first ever documented case of sloth farts.
Whoa! So I was kind of right when I said pee.
You're close.
I was in the right vicinity.
I was kind of right when I said hang.
It really looks like it's having the nicest spa day ever. Like, look how relaxed this sloth is.
Dang it.
If you're wondering, this wildlife veterinarian, Broitigam, described these animals as, quote, big fermenters, and their farts as, quote, silent but deadly. All right, so question 2. True or false, a pet fish playing in a stream was able to reveal its owner's credit card information to the internet?
This is true.
That's absolutely correct.
We
You're
caught
right.
your bullshit here. You're saying in a stream.
Perhaps a Twitch stream. Lenny, I forgot there was sound on that. That doesn't need to have sound. Sorry. So it was basically. Let me phrase it like this. What if I told you that your pet fish could not only play Pokemon but also steal your identity? A human can finish Pokemon Violet in an average of about 30 hours, but a fish hooked up to state-of-the-art interface that translates its movements into actions within the game can finish it in merely 3,200 hours. But if the game crashes, which is what you're about to see here, and the unchaperoned fish is able to access the Nintendo Switch main menu, let's see, yep, it may take the bait. The fish managed to open the Nintendo eStore, read the terms and conditions, send its owner an email confirmation, expose his credit card information to everyone watching the stream, added 500 yen to his account, sent him another email confirmation, purchased a new avatar, downloaded a Nintendo 64 emulator, and changed the name of his account from Mutekimaru to Rowawawawa Yen. Kimaru later requested a refund of the 500 yen from Nintendo, but Nintendo refused the request, saying something smelled fishy. Some people may be surprised that fish could do all this, but remember, a stream is their natural environment. Sorry, guys, come on now. But this, interestingly, wasn't the first time. Let's see what's now. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna leave it here. This, interestingly, wasn't the first time that a fish tank was involved in a theft of sensitive financial information. In 2017, I think it's 2017, hackers managed to breach the network of a Las Vegas casino by compromising the smart thermometer located in the fish tank in its lobby. And essentially, what happened, the thermometer was connected to the casino's central network with no security measures or attempts to isolate the device from the central system. So the hackers were able to move laterally throughout the casino systems, identify the personal financial information of their, quote, high roller clients, and gradually exfiltrate that data to a server, and I swear this is true, in Finland.
That's a real boy who cried wolf situation. You dug that hole into yourself.
Yeah. To be fair, cybersecurity experts have been telling us to watch out for phishing attacks, but this is ridiculous. All right, question 3. What distinction did Tuffy the Frog, George the Snail, and Celia the Pyrenean Ibex have in common?
So obviously they have the same middle name, and that's all we came up with.
Shit.
How do you like it? How do you like to taste your own medicine?
I can't deny that might be point worthy, but let's see what your real answer was.
No, that's all we got.
that's
That's all
all
we
we
got.
got.
Well, I'm afraid that I have to accept that for points. You were completely right. They were the last of their species. Somebody was swearing to their team that was the answer, and they said, "Shut up, rube." I'm sorry. Okay, so these are all last of their species, also known as endlings. So just to go briefly through the distinctive things about them, Tuffy the Frog was the last known living Rab's fringe-limbed tree frog. He died in captivity September 26, 2016, but according to his handler, Leslie Phillips, quote, Tuffy did not like to be handled. He would pinch a handler's hand in an attempt to say, quote, let me go. She went on to say, he is just really cool. No other frog I've seen is quite like him. He is muscular and has giant webbed feet and big eyes. He is a very handsome frog. Actual, real quote. Though Leslie should know, the late females of his species did tell him that they would, quote, wouldn't sleep with him if he were the last Rab's fringe-limbed tree frog on Earth. This is George the Snail. George was born in a laboratory at the University of Hawaii at Manoa, and he was named after Lonesome George, who you may have heard of, which I didn't include in the question because I thought that would give it away. Lonesome George was a Pinta Island tortoise that was also the last of his kind. And George has been described as, quote, a thumbnail-sized whorl of dark brown and tan. Which is nice. It's on his whatever, Hinge bio. Yeah. And while George was alive, it basically became a tradition for various snail researchers who traveled to the area to stop at the spot where the last member of his species was found in the wild and scan the trees with binoculars in the hopes of finding him a mate. Unfortunately, they were not successful before he died at age 14, leaving the species reportedly extinct. And this is fascinating to me. His body was discovered the following morning, and as recently as 2019, George's remains were stored in a cupboard labeled Death Cabinet, alongside the bodies of other dead snail specimens. So,
New band name, Death
yeah,
Cabinet.
Death Cabinet for cutie. Yeah. Finally, here we have Celia the Pyrenean Ibex. Celia was who was the last.
Sorry, I will follow you very slowly into the dark. Anyway, continue.
Oh, that's really cute. Celia, who is the last living, do you think it's Pyrenean or Pyrenean? Anybody? I'll just say it two ways and then maybe, okay. The last living Pyrenean Ibex lived in a nature reserve where she was monitored and cared for tirelessly until one day in January 2000 when she was killed by a falling tree.
What?
It's really sad, very like Looney Tunes energy, I feel like. Which rendered her species extinct. Scientists saved some of her cells and they managed to clone Celia. And a new Celia was born in July 2003. However, when she was released back into the wilderness, she was instantly struck by a second falling tree. No, guys, come on. No, it's not real. No, she died from some other depressing cloning complication. But the bottom line is that the Pyrenean Ibex is the only animal to ever go extinct twice. So it has that incredible distinction. Extinction even. So question 4, which one of the following is not a species of moth? Is it A, the Grinch, B, the nonconformist, C, the little devil, D, the suspected, or E, the German cousin?
We said the suspected because too vague. Suspected of what?
Ooh. Being a moth. Yeah, exactly. And that's almost exactly how it was named, because they thought, basically, I'm giving away the suspected one, but they thought it was basically a different moth, and they weren't sure, and so this became known as the suspected, because they suspected it to be a different one.
I should have suspected.
So the suspected was y'all's
I'm
answer?
giving protoactinium or whatever that
Yeah.
was.
So the answer was the Grinch.
We wanted to believe so badly.
Maybe if we all believe. No, the Grinch is not. The Grinch is not one of those moths. These are the moths on there that are real. I'm trying to find it. Yeah. So basically, you have the nonconformist, the little devil has those like kind of little horns there. It's fun. The suspected and the German cousin. A lot of these there's not really like good reasons for why they're named this way. They're mostly like 1800s, and they really are just kind of like the whatever they felt like. And it's sort of a unique, sort of different, like, I guess, way of naming these animals. That
They all have the same first name.
Yes, exactly, all the same first name indeed. These are the two moths I could find, the moth larvae that I could find that I thought would be good candidates to rename the Grinch. And so I was going to give you, the panel, and the audience the chance to decide which one you think it should be. So should it be the flannel moth or the Miller should become the Grinch?
Well, the Miller is also.
Miller.
It already has the same first name, so it should be the flannel moth. And so I think we should rename that one to the Grinch.
Okay, the flannel moth should be the Grinch, you think?
Yeah.
I like the.
Well, I know you
moth.
disagree. Hold on. Okay. So what does our panel think?
I like the flannel moth. There's some purpose to its oomph going up rather than the disheveled, but that's
Well,
just me.
We're not killing the moth, we're just renaming
No, I know. I'm saying it's more Grinch-like to
I think
define.
the Grinch's hair is wispier, so I agree. But in terms of like not having the Christmas spirit, the flannel moth can give you scars by just walking across your hand. It's so venomous. As far as I'm concerned, the flannel moth is a flannel moth larvae is a larvae I wouldn't touch with a 39.5-foot pole. That's a song from the Grinch. Okay, whatever. Moving on. All right, question 5. Any process known as chrysopia, or chrysopia, scientists at the Large Hadron Collider fired lead nuclei at each other and created what?
We're pretty confident on
Yeah,
this.
yeah. All right, say it
This one
together.
we got. 1, 2,
Two,
3.
three. Super
red.
Kinda. I will even say, I'm gonna give you half a point, so mark that out, because in the spirit of what I'm gonna explain in the rest of this question, it is just sort of an improved lead, and that is because it's gold. And the reason I'm giving you half a point is because this sort of lead to gold transition comes from the sort of ancient history, not ancient really, yeah, I guess ancient history of the alchemists of yore who wanted to turn lead into gold. This specific painting is actually of an alchemist who tried to turn piss into gold. It's really a matter of just freezing it, I guess. I don't know. But this, while the alchemists of yore were unsuccessful, they did end up developing many lab techniques that would go on to be used in real chemistry and physics research. And so basically the problem was they wanted to convert lead to gold, right? And they wanted to do this by various chemical methods, like heating and mixing different chemicals together and treating them so that they would just turn into something else. And it wasn't just chemical. The problem was that also they had this sort of weird philosophical bent to it, where they thought that lead was a, quote, base metal, and that gold was a noble metal, and that because they shared some other things, like I think it was their density is very similar, that one of them was just the earthly, sinful version, the lead, of the heavenly version of it, gold. And that they could create something that would like extract the sin, and then that would, and the idea was if they could do this for lead and gold, turning lead into gold, they could also do it for people, and create sort of a perfect, sinless version of a human. And what they didn't know about was atomic structure. And atomic structure is very important to understand if you want to change one element to another, because you can't do it with just like throwing acids and bases together, you've got to basically knock some protons out of lead, exactly 3, because what an element is essentially is determined by how many protons that it has in its nucleus. So if you have lead with 82 protons and gold with 79 protons, you got to get rid of those 3, and chemistry just isn't going to do that. What you need is the Large Hadron Collider or some other kind of a particle accelerator. And it turns out
And that man has to be there for it to work. He's the sacrifice.
no,
That's where the sin goes.
no, that's the Large Hadron Collider's protector, super lead. The dream of the alchemist, though, was realized in particle accelerators like the Large Hadron Collider, where in 2018, scientists fired lead nuclei past each other at 0.9999993%. Wait, 99.9999993% the speed of light. And what essentially this will do is the magnetic sort of field lines that are moving past each other at such high speeds, they create this like burst of photons which like knocks some of the both neutrons and protons out of these nuclei. And if the right number are knocked out, they become gold. And so very interestingly, I found it was this very, very dry paper, just to show you this again, proton emissions in ultra-peripheral lead-lead collisions at whatever that is, equals 5.02 Tesla volts? I'm looking, no, that's just T, isn't it?
No.
I'm looking right at you as TE. Okay, never mind. Tesla, I thought it was some sort of weird hybrid unit, yeah. So some weird thing, very dry, but right at the end of it, they include this: the transmutation of lead into gold is the dream of medieval alchemists, which comes true at the LHC, which is a cool little bit of whimsy for these particle physicists.
Now do it with piss.
There's no better button to end that one on, so I'm moving ahead. Question 6, riders in the Milan Metro were more likely to give up their seat to Batman than to a pregnant woman. True or false?
False. Why the hell would Batman be in Milan?
Really good point. Really good point.
I know you want us to say true, so we're going false.
I don't know. I'll give you a second to second
We've
guess
also
yourself.
never
No,
seen
locked
Batman.
in. Final
Locked in?
answer.
That is absolutely correct. Yeah, there was for a second I thought there was going to be applause because they're like, well, of course they need to give up.
I love the idea that this is just a straight up like, no, they wouldn't because the pregnant woman would need more. Next question.
No, there was a reason. This is in fact a study that found that when a pregnant woman entered a train car in the Milan Metro, 33% of the time someone would offer her their seat. The rest of this this study's title is The Batman Effect. So the whole thing is the unexpected events and pro-social behavior, the Batman effect. The study found that when a pregnant woman entered a train car in the Milan Metro, 33% of the time, someone would offer her their seat. When someone dressed as Batman also entered the train car from another door, the pregnant woman was offered a seat 66% of the time. Sadly, actually, I want to read you something from this. We hypothesized that the presence of an unexpected event, a person dressed as Batman, would increase the likelihood that passengers offer their seat to a pregnant woman compared to a control condition without Batman.
Okay, but do they try a pregnant Batman? What happens then?
Great question. This is what it looks like. And they made sure to say 2 things. One, that ethically they felt that they couldn't include the Batman with the mask, or so couldn't run the experiment with the Batman with the mask because they didn't want to scare people. And 2, they made sure to point out they were never this close in the actual experiment. They would have to enter through different doors. And that way, and one thing that was really interesting is I might get this percentage wrong, but it was about half of the people that when they were surveyed who gave up their seat for the pregnant woman when Batman was on the train reported not having noticed Batman on the train. And so the idea is basically, as we go back to the title, that it's like that unexpected events can increase pro-social behavior. In this instance, one of the things they were thinking was people are in kind of a routine and like a habit going, and they have sort of like almost like programmed behavior, and it's great. There's a greater like psychological energy barrier to get over to sort of break out of the inertia of that routine. But if something weird happens, like Batman gets on the train, your routine's already broken. So then they have it's like a little bit easier to see a pregnant woman and be like, oh, please take my seat, instead of just kind of doing the sort of less difficult, when it's like a higher energy barrier climb of giving the seat when there's no superhero on the train. But the interesting thing about the people who didn't report seeing Batman at all was that they had a bunch of theories. They don't know exactly why, but they think that probably what happened is it was basically spreading through the crowd the effects of the people who had seen Batman looking up and around, and the sort of the sounds, the shuffling, whatever, the realizing someone was like looking up instead of down at their phone, sort of spread through the crowd, and then other people became more alert because their sort of seatmates were more alert. Even though they didn't end up seeing Batman, they looked up, saw a pregnant woman who hadn't been offered a seat, and then offered to her their seat. So it was a really, really interesting study. Yeah, that's about it. Question 7. Charles Darwin made a list of pros and cons that included, quote, better than a dog, and, quote, less money for books, before deciding to do what?
I know Darwin was a fan of pigeons, so my guess was bought a pigeon.
We think he's a pigeon guy.
We know I know he is.
No, this British man was not interested in that bird. He was interested in the bird he married. And this was about him getting married. Yeah, your disappointment is fair. So let's just go. This is the diary entry where he puts up at the top, this is the question. On the left it says marry. On the right it says not marry. And then he has a bunch of reasons why, and I've picked out a few of my favorites. So first, on the marry side, picture to yourself a nice soft wife on a sofa with good fire and books and music perhaps. Now, a reason why you would not want to marry is that there's less money for books. Okay? So back to the marry column. Charms of music and female chit-chat. These things good for one's health, but terrible loss of time. Reason you might, if you were Charles Darwin, not want to marry? Conversation of clever men at clubs. Back to the marry column. Constant companion and friend in old age. Object to be beloved and played with. Better than a dog, anyhow. And finally, in the not married column, we have, how should I manage all my business if I were obliged to go every day walking with my wife? Whoa!
What I'm learning is that, at first the thought of like Charles Darwin being on Joe Rogan would be nice because it's like, oh, he teaches him, and then they just instantly devolve into this. You're like, no.
Talk about the descent of man. Oh, that's a deep Darwin reference. Okay.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
Thank you.
It hurts because it's good.
I'm going to put that in somebody's newsletter or whatever you said. Okay. So question 8. Which one of the following is the canonical prequel to How the Grinch Stole Christmas? Was it A, A Mother's Day Visit from Old Madam Grinch? B, Oh, Won't You Be My Valentine, Mr. Grinch? C, One Grinch's Crummy Thanks-Taking? D, Halloween is Grinch Night? Or E, That Mean Old Grinch Neglects His Hound Max? Oh, sorry, I replaced that one with Grinch Eggs for Easter time. But let's just throw in there F, That Mean Old Grinch Neglects His Hound Max.
We chose One Grinch's Crummy Thanks-Taking because of the proximity to Christmas.
I also thought you weren't funny enough to come up with Thanks-Taking, which I thought was really good.
I so wish that I had been. And I was, motherfucker.
Halloween is not a Grinch night.
Halloween is Grinch Night
David,
is the canonical prequel to How the Grinch Stole Christmas. This is the cover of Halloween is Grinch Night. Here is another version of it. It was a television special sort of movie released in 1977. Halloween is not mentioned even once. Not even one time.
Halloween.
Folks, the best compliment you can get is one where after you give it, the person screams in pain.
No! But possibly because Halloween is never mentioned, when it was re-released in 1992, it was just called It's Grinch Night.
The dog got whiter.
Go ahead.
The dog got white.
Yeah, I don't know if this is just like a weird color correction thing. Max, so this is interesting. So Max, who has a big role in How the Grinch Stole Christmas, is in this, and at the end of it, and it's sort of a continuity error, does leave the Grinch to go be with the Who's who like really love him. So the only way that this makes sense is if he goes back to his abuser.
And we've all been there.
Yeah.
Honey.
You don't gotta tell me, sister.
He said I was better than a dog.
Yeah.
What was the Darwin quote?
It was to Charles Darwin, the famous Who. Yeah. But basically, in the vein of the Grinch being taken out of things, I wanted to point out this right here, which has been the background for the entire show. And what this is the it's called the Christmas Tree Nebula. Now, I have basically got all the different layers of this because it's a composite image. The green was the visual spectrum. Red was infrared and I guess a range. It came in several different channels. I put those down. I collapsed them into one, and I did create a higher contrast, just so I don't know. I thought it would look a little more like Christmas lights. And then the background was, I think, infrared. But as I was preparing for the show, I realized I think I see the resemblance to the Grinch, and I think it's about time we put the Grinch back in Grinchmas. And if you go and look, tonight into the night sky, I hope that you will look up and see perhaps our dear, dear friend whose heart, as we mentioned earlier, grew 3 sizes that day and whose chest, unlike that one dinosaur Lena said, did not explode. So that is the trivia. Thank you very much for participating. So, thank you very much. We are now going to find out how our teams did. How did you guys do?
Amazing. 8 out of 8.
8 out of 8? I seem to remember giving you half credit for one.
Really, we got 10.
Yeah,
wow.
You got bonus points,
That's
right?
incredible. That's the highest score we've ever had. So you guys won for sure. But let's find out how our audience did. There's a 6-way tie for first, which is too many names, so I'm going to pick the funniest one really quickly. Okay, Big Daddy Jolly Nick, as in Saint Nick, that's all part of it, with 4 points. Congratulations, what team is that? Woo! Way to go! But at Fax Machine, we don't just award honors to the team with the most points, we also award the team that learned the most.
We also got 0. Weirdly.
That was Team Beebus. Team Beebus? Congratulations, Team Beebus. Maybe they don't want to reveal themselves, that's fine. Well, folks, that is just about all we have for you tonight. Please give it up one more time for our guests, Tom Lum, Dr. Garima, Raheja, and Lena Circus.